Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Testing. We in the building.
Yes, we are.
The Rock Boys in the building tonight.
Nah, you not from New York, bro.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you from Philly.
Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished?
Yes, sir.
It's a long time for that.
Yeah, we was literally just talking about What's going on, everybody? Welcome to What's Brewing. I'm your host, Rob Bruin, locked in with my man, CEO and president of Courtside Wealth Partners. You know, this is a place where we talk all things NIL, pop culture, and everything in between. Today we'll be diving into, Cam Moore and what he's been doing on the field that has pushed up his NIL rankings. And Cooper Flag, is he going to be legit? And more importantly, Philly Financial Week.
Yes, sir.
It's coming up.
It's next week.
Details are more on the way.
Let's get it.
Let's go, baby. How you feeling?
Sir. I'm feeling good, bro. I'm blessed. As you know, I officially left the corporate space, and there's a lot of gratitude that's been given there. It's easy to get caught up and be nervous about that because that was my life for 10 years. Because once you in it and you come out of it, you like, oh, wow.
No safety net.
No safety net. The safety net is me getting up every day, doing what I need to do for my clients, building the right relationships, and continuing to press forward because life is going to throw its own set of curveballs at me, and it's not going to be, a perfect script on on what this all looks like. So moving into that chapter, and I'm looking forward to embracing it all.
Yeah.
And being able to, share that with people as they, think about making that type of transition as well, and what sort of led up to it. But I'm not about to vlog or get into,
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. We want to know.
It's nothing, but I don't want to be.
You got the people's attention right now.
But there's a lot of people out there that are already doing that type of content. I'm not looking to give you entrepreneur content. Yeah, like that's not me.
Yeah,
like,
you getting your hands dirty right now.
I want to roll my sleeves. I want to lead with the work.
Yeah.
Not all of the, I know this is important. I want to do this. This is very important, but in a more thoughtful and strategic way. So.
Correct. Well, speaking of work, me and you have work that we're going to be doing consistently.
Yes. I mean, we locked in, y'all. So, What's Brewing and Courtside Media Partners is collaborating on a show. Because I feel like, and as I just mentioned, it's very important for me to be in front of the camera, giving people not just, my knowledge, but, showing up in their faces all the time. Like Tyler, the Creator, said something a little while ago about people and their brands, right? We typically, we'll put something out, we'll throw it up on our story, and then we'll leave it, and that'll be it. And, that'll, and I'm paraphrasing this because he said a little bit more, obviously, details than this, but he basically was saying that if this is your brand, you got to own that shit. You got to keep putting yourself in front of people. You got to keep, showing people what you're doing, because at the end of the day, nobody not gonna market your stuff the way you are.
You're your best advocate.
It made sense. You have a media background, media and journalism. Don't let me put titles on that don't belong. And then me having a finance background, I think the two it just made too much sense. As you know, I came to the idea. I was sitting on the pier in Santa Monica,
getting the good breeze.
Yeah, watching the waves, and I'm like, no, man, this made too much sense. The first episode was so fire, and I was like, I got more to talk about, and I know you want to curate that type of content, so it's time to tap all the way in, and we're gonna turn this shit up.
Yeah, I think it was real dope for us to tap in and really get into it because I've been having so many different ideas, and I feel like once I figured out like what your journey was, and we spoke earlier this year, like back in February, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it was still cold out.
And we were supposed to circle back, but a few things happened. And I just felt like it was just time to make that move. And I feel like what you're saying with both of our skill sets, I think that when things fully come together, I think it'll be on some really some Avengers type shit.
I'm gonna let you know you said this to me when I called you about it. No, I sent you a voice note. And you was like, no, Nas, like I positioned that to you when we initially talked, and I was like replaying that back in my mind. I'm like, no, you didn't. I don't remember that part of the conversation.
No?
Nah, it was a different approach. We're going,
Yeah.
But it was a different approach, and I'm like, okay.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a little bit different. It might be that New York.
Talk to me. No, talk to me though.
It might be a New York.
Talk to me.
Yeah.
No, let's talk.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't really hear that type of
bringing you in, welcoming.
I ain't hear that. So once I got to sit down, sometimes with me, it take me a little longer to process information and to allow me to really understand what was said to me. Because I'm a visionary. I got to see it before I could believe it. And so I had to see it.
Yeah.
And that's when I believed it.
So it's funny you say that. It could have been tone, and it could have been that we're still building, we're still growing in the relationship.
For sure.
But for me, what I knew when I started the content, I knew what my vision was. But in my mind, I always saw you, for me, as a resource, and I always wanted you to be a part of the show. I don't know if I fully explained that to you, but that's what I saw in my mind. But also, too, as well, I didn't want to overextend and make you put a lot of pressure on you, because I know with you starting everything, I didn't want you to feel like, damn, well, we just getting started. Now he trying to throw his whole show on my lap, and it feels like,
I think
what are we doing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I had to make this a part.
Yeah.
Of like content, marketing, like, because there's a point like as an advisor running a firm, a wealth management firm, serving athletes at that, right, where you're in the trenches, you got your sleeves rolled up, you're getting to work, but there is a time to work on the business, and I consider this working on the business, because it's a form of
marketing.
Yeah, and I know that I know that, I want the type of marketing that I want out there, especially when it comes to me. I don't want it to be anything cookie cutter, and I'm not sitting here talking to people about backdoor Roth IRA conversions or any of that stuff, because enough of that exists.
Yeah,
right? I'm not really.
I want to give them something different.
Yeah, I'm not. How am I differentiating myself as an advisor if I'm not able to talk about everything else besides the X's and O's of athletes? Finances and investments. So,
along with that, it's just like the creative direction of like my mindset, what I see. And like when you were at the Ballroom CNBC, which we'll tap into next situation, I feel like you had that moment. You saw what it could look like as you were in position, having conversations. And I knew that my job was, when I put this first project together, that's for me, when I put it all together, I'm like, I want him to see the value. Right? And when it clicked, and when your feet was up and you were swinging by the water, it hit. You know what I mean? And that was the goal. So, no, I'm definitely glad we doubled down on that.